All I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm feeling trapped and I'm 'Cause I've been running this world without you, with no help at all, one way to fall, living this nightmare all through. What's new? I'm making without you, with no help at all, one way to fall, living this nightmare all through. What's new? I'm making without you. I'm making without you.
After a fun-packed race last week, we return with the iRacing E-Series here this week at Daytona, and we bring back the Cup cars for more racing action. Good evening, everybody. My name is Sam Cooper Bennett here with you in the booth for ESPN, the Esports Broadcasting Network. And as we get closer to the playoffs here, we have more fun for you tonight. Joining me in the booth here tonight is Frank Marchese. Frank, we've got less than 4 races left in the chase, and we bring back an old favourite here again tonight.
Yeah, only 3 races to go in the chase. This is one of the 3. The next is Talladega, and then we come back to Daytona. So yeah, we got these Cup cars here. These guys, this is their favorite car to run. Of the 4 that they've run this season, they've all said the Cup car is their favorite. They feel the most comfortable in the Cup car. This is going to be a wild, wild show here tonight.
That it is, as we are set to go here in about 30 seconds, and it's going to be, as always, an absolute barn burner here as we're just scrolling through the sponsors here tonight. Midwest Motor Customs, Butt Kicker, iRacing, iFlag, AC Paints, and obviously there is another one, but they changed the name recently. They're
I think was it Circle B sales?
Circle B Diecast, that's the one.
Or Circle B Diecast.
Well, I got it on there as Plan B sales, but they'll get the gist of what I mean. As they're having a last-second burnout session for Cameron once again this week. Obviously, we are still saying prayers for Cam. For those of you that don't know, Cam was is a young boy that this league and this channel is saying prayers for after he was involved in a pretty horrific house fire, which landed him in hospital, and he's still there right now, still recovering, and our prayers still going out to Cam as this race goes on here tonight. Qualifying underway though, as we have the number 50 of Joe Francis out on track right now, and let's see what he can put down as we get ready to get things going here, Frank.
Yeah, it's again a fun, exciting night. There's a big twist here tonight as well. Typically, we're used to seeing we talk all the time in this series, especially about the fuel limit and what they're allowed to fill the gas tanks to. Usually it's in that 75-85% range. tonight you're only allowed to fill those tanks halfway. So that's going to make a lot more pit stops. This is the least amount these guys have been able to fill these cars all season long. And I believe the least amount that they will be able to fill it for the rest of the season. So that's going to throw a huge strategy bug into this race here tonight.
Yeah, and also returning here tonight is the Dash for Cash initiative. We have, I believe, 8 drivers in the running for Dash for Cash, in the running for $40 here tonight. And a bit of a change to the proceedings this time here, Frank. It's not going to the highest, it's not going to the winner, it's actually going to the highest finisher this time.
Yeah, and last time we did this, it was here at Daytona where the number 3 of James Cato won it. Cato is in the Dash for Cash again here tonight alongside of Jason Papp, Greg McConey, Michael Anthony, Cody Smith, Chris Worrell, Marcus Adams, and James Lowe. All of those guys will be competing for the, I believe it's $40 that are on the line tonight for the highest winner, for the highest finisher.
Yeah, looking forward to that one as we're just looking at Joe Francis there going second on the board here for his qualifying time. David Emy going up to 3rd. Logan Jones going up to P4 in that number 23 machine. We got more out on track right now as Marcus Adams goes up to 2nd. Let's go to Nick Kessler right now. Had a difficult race last week at Daytona in the trucks. You got to think he's going to try and get a run this time around here in the Cup cars.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the same thing, it's a crapshoot every single week. Anyone could be anywhere at any given time. Anything could happen in these races, and anyone has a chance to win, as there's a lot of other guys on track right now as well. I believe Aaron Tribble is on track right now. I know Scott Warren's on track as well. And I believe somebody just put in a time.
Brody Smith
did.
Yeah, and Brody Smith just went up to P6 as well. Ryan Worley, who was one of the drivers running the special paint schemes for the young man Cam last week. He's back in a different paint scheme this time. It looks like a bit of a chrome effect he's got going on that one.
Yeah, a little bit of a... we might be seeing 2 different paint schemes here. I don't know. It might be me. I'm seeing something that looks more like Miami Vice.
I got custom numbers switched on, so it might be different.
I think...
I don't know. It could be me.
No, I do have custom numbers turned on also. So it's another... Thank you, Trading Paints.
I'm just going to reset it, just to be honest.
No. If anything, it's me that has to reset it, so you're fine.
It's too late now. I already pressed Control-R. So.
Oh, there you go. So, just looking through the timing pylon, Nick Kessler, as you mentioned, is on pole right now with only about 45 seconds left in qualifying. Scott Warren bumped it up to 2nd. Somebody, I believe Seabrands, no, he's been up there. I thought I saw somebody put a time in, but I think anyone who's not on track right now is not going to get a time in. So only 13 drivers tonight putting in a qualifying time.
New driver out in the field tonight, Calvin Allison. Actually, I don't think he's new, is he? He's been in the field before, hasn't he?
I do remember Allison, the 28, yeah. I think,
yeah, he's not a new driver. So everybody pretty much the same as we've normally seen all season at this moment, as qualifying just coming to an end here. As we've seen, Nick Kessler making a very slow return to pit road as qualifying comes to an end here at this juncture. So with that, let's go to the grid for tonight's race. And starting up on the pole will be the number 4 of Nick Kessler. First pole position of the season, I believe, for this man. So good run for him. He'll be joined on the front row by Scott Warren. Row 2 will be Mark Mann and Marcus Adams. Row 3 will be Joe Francis and Rick Seabrands. Row 4 will be David Emig and Brody Smith. Row 5 will be Aaron Tribble and Connor Trafari. Row 6 will be Ryan Worley and Logan Jones. Row 7 will be Zayshan Dura and Josh Robin. And row 8 will be Jared Darling and Chris Worrell here, Frank.
Row 9 will be Michael Anthony and Cody Smith, as James Lowe has requested an end-of-line penalty. Row 10 will be James Cato and Calvin Allison. Row 11, Brandon Wilson and Greg McConey. Zach Bowerman and Jesse Cottrell will make up Row 12. Row 13 will be Roberto Ramirez and Nicholas Wing. Row 14 will be Jason Kinzer and Jason Papp. And then row 15 will be John LeBombard. And now, James Cato.
Yeah, so we do have a field of 30 drivers here taking part for this one tonight, and it's going to be a fun race as we've seen all season. Lots of drama with these guys, but they also keep it clean for the most part. It's always near the end of the race where things start really kicking off.
Yeah, as we've seen all season long, you're 100% right. I think what was it, like, I think the last time we went to Talladega, it was green right up until they were about to take the white flag. So, and I think last week there was only about 2 or 3 cautions, and then all the chaos on the last lap right as they hit the line to take the white flag. But this has been all season long. I'm so glad you asked me to come up in the booth for the third race of this season. This has been all season long. It has been some of the best, the most high action, cleanest super speedway racing I have seen on the iRacing sim. This has been absolutely fantastic to watch. And coming down to the chase, it's only going to get even better.
James Lowe, you see, just trying to get to the back there, already trying to switch lanes as someone's just towed there. I don't know, didn't quite see who that was. It looked like it was, no he didn't, he just blinked out, never mind. As my brain is playing tricks on me already, as we are getting ready to go here for 80 laps around here. Now again, being a super speedway series and with low fuel loads here tonight, it is a sprint race effectively, but they will have to make more pit stops here tonight, as you've already mentioned here, Frank.
Yeah, you're looking to split this up, maybe 3, possibly 4 pit stops minimum. A normal green flag run here is between 35 and 40 laps, somewhere in that range. You're looking now between 20 and 25. That splits the race into quarters. So this is going to get very interesting, and strategy, especially with fuel, is going to be a major player, because if you do come in on lap 20 and this thing stays green, that means 40, 60, and then the race distance at 80.
So as we go through 3 and 4, Frank, you get the honor of starting us off here tonight.
Oh, I'm shocked. I'm tickled by this, actually. As the field comes off of quarter number 4, Nick Kessler and Scott Warren to lead them down here for the first time tonight. Mark Mann and Marcus Adams behind them. Pace car is off. Green flag is in the air. Round 13 for the iRacing East Super Speedway Series is underway.
As they go flying off towards turn 1 here, we're going to have side-by-side action for the most part here in this one, as we always do. As they go through 1 and 2, and it's going to be Nick Kessler going to lead them out of turn 2 with Scott Warren to his outside. Now Scott Warren in the number 04, fighting out with the 4, so it's all 4s at the front here.
Scott Warren in the 17, that's Mark Mann in the 4.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Close enough, they're both up there.
He got up to second for a second, and then it just confused me. So Warren in the 17 now, he's had his fair share of bad luck here tonight. Can he finally get a good result here tonight as it comes through the tri-oval for the first time here tonight? And it's going to be Scott Warren gets the nose out in front as they go towards turn 1 here, Frank.
And right behind him is one of the 2 drivers in the field that have won multiple races this season, the 31 of Marcus Adams, giving a very nice push to the 17 right across the line. And you're right, Warren has been up at the front for a majority of these races, and just something always happens that puts him in the back and then subsequently falls into a wreck.
Marcus Adams making his way to the front already tonight, and usually starts a bit further back, but decided to start near the front this time around. He's got Brody Smith right behind him, and he's got the Reese's machine of as Kessler's off into pit road.
Yeah, that's an interesting call, and I believe he's going to get pegged for speeding as well, I think. That's peculiar.
Yeah, and he's going to go right to his box there. Not really sure what's happened there to the man in the 4, but he's put his time to pit road regardless, and he's... yeah, that's very unusual for him. But anyway, we continue as we go on, as it's going to be Marcus Adams going to lead them down towards the line in that Bulls number 31. He's got Scott Warren right behind him. Connor Trafari making an early run forward in that Reese's number 4. Yeah, I was about to mention him just before Kessler went down to pit road. Good to see him up there. Rick Seabrand's running a new paint here tonight in that blue and white Yeti machine as Kessler returns out of pit road. I guess he didn't get a penalty out of that one.
I'm surprised he didn't, because he was flying into pit lane, and that was a very late move on the brakes from him. But I mentioned before that James Lowe had requested an EOL penalty. He's already back up in this lead group in the 13th position.
Yep, and you see him right on the outside there in the military-coloured Bulls 99. Just running on the outside of Aaron Tribble in the 86 as they come through the tri-oval one more time down towards turn 1. We've already started lap 5 in this race, and already Brodie Smith making a lane for himself and trying to put Scott Warren into that sucker hole there, Frank.
Yeah, and Brodie, my goodness. Wow, Marcus Adams. Oh my goodness, what a move for Marcus Adams. And now they're going to come right down. Well, you do that on the highway, you get arrested.
Yeah, you would. And Scott Warren did get brought into that sucker hole there. Marcus Adams went right up to catch up to Brodie Smith. I think he knew Brodie Smith might have been the threat here. Went up to fend him off. Thing is, though, Brodie Smith went down the track to go with him and almost took Scott Warren with him. So...
Yeah, that was a very interesting trip down the back straightaway, to say the least. As I was going to say, Brodie Smith, another one of those guys who always finds his way up at the front, and both of the brothers Smith, Brodie and Cody, always finding their way up at the front. They're great pushers. They're great when they're leading a pack. And finally, last week, one of the brothers was able to finally put it in victory lane. It was Cody. Brodie now looking for that win.
Yeah, Cody Smith back there in P21 right now. He's got Nick Kessler to his outside. Obviously, Kessler a lap down. You can see Cody Smith is with his teammate Zach Bowman. They're both in the Red Bull schemes again here tonight. Good to see them showing a bit of variation on their paint schemes. Obviously, you get some drivers who run the same paint scheme all season, but you see Bowman and Cody Smith, they are always wearing different wrappers every week. Same for James Lowe, to be fair, as well. He's another one that likes to change his paint schemes regularly.
Yeah, and that's the paint scheme that Zach Bowerman won with at Talladega, so he's looking to find some mojo in that blue number 9 Red Bull machine. That car has a win under its belt already. Granted, it was at the other track, but still looking for good mojo in that 9.
Yeah, right behind him is one of the drivers taking part in the Dash for Cash. That's James Cato. He's down in P23 right now as... the person currently in the running to win the Dash for Cash is actually Marcus Adams. He's actually leading the race altogether.
Yeah, and Adams has made a couple of big moves to get himself up. And remember, for his first win of the season, he made a couple of really, really big blocks to secure that victory. And he's already kicking off pretty early with the big moves.
Absolutely, as they come through 1 and 2 once again. It's the Scott Warren to the outside. We got the 8.
That's Josh Robin, I think.
Josh Robin is running a different paint scheme to what... He's running a different number to what he should be running. But then Josh Robin, a part-time runner this season. We've not seen him much this season. Same for Jared Darling, who's right behind him in the 14. Very much part-time runners, but always near the front when they are here. Oh, Scott Warren gets a bit of contact there with Brodie Smith.
Yeah, that and Marcus Adams threw a block on it, and Brodie Smith now going down to the apron, trying to file back here. He'll find a little bit of a lane there just as they get into the corner. That's Michael Anthony in the black Cyber Power number 8 car. Up at the front, the pink 8, that is the one of Josh Robbins. So there's your difference.
Yeah, and you see Jason Papp running pink on his car and showing his support. Oh, there it is! Scott Warren in the wall already, and more bad luck for the man in the 17. And we're going to go back and find it in just a second. Once I'm able to find Scott Warren, we're on board with him right now. Absolute disaster for the 17 already. His night is already over.
And you talk about part-time runners. That's Josh Robin, who was pushing to take the lead. He had a great run from Darling and then just cut right across the nose of the 17 in 1 and 2, trying to get to the inside line. That's Josh Robin thinking he was clear when really he wasn't.
Yeah, and unfortunately Marcus Adams caught up in that one as well. Jason Papp might have got a piece of it as well. And we've got the 10 of Zaysha Dora going for a slide for life for the grass. The 28 of Calvin Allison and the Haviline machine, sorry, going for a slide for the grass. So multiple cars involved and 2 big hitters involved already. That would be Marcus Adams and Scott Warren. Both of those guys' nights are pretty much over competitively now.
Yeah, a couple more guys further in the back there. Worrell got spun around after Bowerman shunted Cody Smith. So that was a little bit more action in the back there. I have no idea how Brody made it through there with absolutely no damage on his car, but that was unfortunately a very unnecessary incident, especially this early in the race.
Things just went from bad to worse for Marcus Adams. We just cut to his car there as he was coming down to pit road, and just before he hit pit road, his engine blew. So that is his night completely over now.
Yep, no fast repairs in this series, so that will very effectively put an end to his night.
Yep, as Nick Kessler will get a lucky dog here. Rick Seabrands is a lap down as well. I think he was caught in it as well. As yeah, he's put it on the hauler, unfortunately. So Seabrands is out already. So another big name out of this one already in the shape of the 92.
Yeah, and Seabrands had a very good run in the trucks last week, and now this week again, just getting caught up in something that was not of his doing. So
that shakes things up a bit. Nicholas Wing deciding to stay. Passed right through pit road, actually. Missed his stall, I think. So, unfortunately, Nicholas Wing going to have to come around and go back down pit road again. As he just comes out of turn 2. Jared Darling, meanwhile, going to win the race off pit road here in the combo. I did get that right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Combo's number 14. Joe Francis, it's American. It's American sponsorship. I don't know some of these. You know,
you were right. It was combos.
Yeah. Logan Jones in P4, probably will be P3 once Nicholas Wing brings us down to pit road in the Chick-fil-A number 23. That is Chick-fil-A, right? Yeah, it is. I had my chance to try Chick-fil-A while I was in America last year. Never got that opportunity.
I cannot have Chick-fil-A.
Why?
I am allergic to peanuts, and they cook with peanut oil.
Oh well, that sucks.
That will certainly do it.
I'll tell you what, the best fast food restaurant I went to when I was in America last year was Culver's. I enjoyed that one. I like Culver's.
We don't have those up in the Northeast.
I don't know. No, it was. You're right. I was in the Midwest. I was on my way down to Indianapolis, so it was just about 3 hours out of Indianapolis. So, like, I was on that long stretch of road between Chicago down through Indiana, you know. So I remember that road because it was very scary. The Chicago L line follows that stretch of road quite far out of Chicago down to the I think it's down to the Illinois Indiana border, possibly. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I take it you've never been to Chicago. Oh
no.
Wow, that's some random problems there. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself.
So
As-
just a further update on what's going on with some of these damaged drivers. Scott Warren has called it an evening. He is done for the night. The 23 of Logan Jones just have a little bit of front end damage. Robin with rear end damage. Cody Smith and Worrell and Bowerman coming out with very minimal damage stuff that shouldn't really affect them. I think I saw one more car that I can't picture in my mind's eye right now.
Jason Papp somehow got it through it. Pap got through it. I'm not sure if he's got some damage. He might have some right side damage because he did scrape the wall as the pace truck pulls off. Jared Darling going to have the button as we go back to green here, and he will hit the loud pedal right now as we go down towards turn 1 on lap 14 of 80 here at Daytona, and it's going to be Jared Darling leading them down with well, it was Joe Francis, but now it's going to be Logan Jones with the advantage on the inside there. You see Michael Anthony on that outside in the 8. He's pushing Joe Francis for all he's worth, but doesn't seem to be working right now. That outside line not really showing its potential as it does now, actually, as they come down towards turn 3. Big push there from Michael Anthony on Joe Francis.
Yeah, you get that big run down the hill onto the back straightaway, keeping that car nice and wound up so that outside lane doesn't necessarily look like it's going to work during entry, but on exit, and especially now through the tri-oval, that's the line you want to be in.
Yeah, we're on board with Michael Anthony right there as they come towards turn 1 again. We're on lap 15 of 80. Very much a close race, even though we had our first big one of the night a few laps ago. I noticed Zach Bowman has made his way up to the top 5 there. Good run he's having so far.
And if you're still in that onboard camera, you could see that little plexiglass sheet in that rear spoiler. That's so the guy pushing, Anthony in this case, can see through Joe Francis's car to the guy in front of him. A very, very key thing, especially when you're bump traffic here at Daytona.
Now you see we're on board the roll bar of Michael Anthony pushed Joe Francis to the front there, and now fancies the chances of leading the outside line there, and he is leading the outside line, now being pushed by Zach Bowman, going through 1 and 2. Out of turn 2, big drag race down towards turn 3, as we got one pulling off. I believe that was Nicholas Wing pulling off in the background there.
That is Nicholas Wing in the 90, and I was surprised during qualifying when I recognized that car. I do believe, if my memory serves me correctly, I do believe that's an old Dick Trickle throwback, that number 90. So I'm a fan of the rare and obscure, and that certainly is both as Kessler comes in again.
Yeah, that's the second time he's done that now. Not really sure what his objective is here.
I'm not sure what he's playing at.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually say that. Anyway, that's Kessler into pit road to get more fuel and tyres. Not really sure what's going on there. If we go back to Jared Darling here, who's right behind Joe Francis, giving him a push now as Michael Anthony seeing that outside line falter ever so slightly. But again, here he comes out of turn 4, being pushed by Zach Bowman, and Bowman not exactly straight behind the 8 there.
No, these cars, they do tend to wiggle. When you get closer to the car in front of you, that air coming off of the car in front of you really gets disturbed, and it sort of like throws your front end around. So when you see these guys waving and weaving down the back straightaway, or when they're coming up to put a push on a guy, it's not necessarily them doing it. They're trying to keep it in line. It's the air coming off the car in front of them that's throwing them around.
Yeah, as you see the 23 of Logan Jones just doing a bit of wiggling there, as you already mentioned. He's got Jason Papp to his outside, right behind Jason Papp. I believe that is Josh Robin in the other pink machine. As James Lowe is up there, Aaron Tribble is up there, Zay Shandura, who went for a trip through the grass to avoid the incident, is up there as well. And David Emig is up there as well in the 02.
that's who it was. He may have had the front end damage. That's the second you said it. I'm like, oh, yep, that was it. I'm not sure if you mentioned Chris Worrell up there as well. He's the other driver that has won 2 times as Dueras as No Mas.
Yeah, nearly made it 3 times last week, but just came a little bit short as Cody Smith brought the car home to victory lane. I don't think Worrell actually knew how he made it up to 3rd place last week, but he did.
That's always the best races, when you have no idea how you got there, but you ended up there. I had one of those races here.
I had one of those races in the very old IndyCar, the IR05 at Indianapolis. It was like a 1-lap shootout, and it was a 2-lap shootout actually, and I was right behind the leaders as we came out of turn 2, and all of them but 2 people in front of me wrecked, and I somehow made it through. And by the time I got to the line, I was like, how the hell did that happen? Because I had no idea how I made it through that, because me being me and with the luck I have, I usually end up in those kind of wrecks, but I didn't in that occasion. So
you too, huh?
Yeah. So I've just got a message from Greg McConey. He's got no wheel tonight, so he's using a mouse and keyboard.
No, stop it.
No, I'm being serious. He's put it in the comments.
He's using mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, and he's in P26 and doing not too badly actually.
He hasn't completely fallen off the...
Well, he's starting to.
And if I'm honest, I'm assuming he's using the mouse to turn left and right, because he's really...
Yeah, he's weaving all over the place. I don't mean to laugh at you, Greg, but that is just funny.
But through the corners, though, he's holding it as solid as a rock, though. He's holding it right on that yellow line in the corners. I'll give him a lot of credit. Because I had to run, it was the Paskey's race when I was stupid and broke my wheel. Because, again, I'm stupid.
I'm not gonna contest that.
I did 3 laps with a controller and I was done.
I've won races with a controller, but that's just me. Anyway, Lee Pat coming. Sorry,
I've won plenty of races with a controller on console.
Oh no, all of my rookie races in the street stock I won with a controller.
There you go.
So Nick Kessler going a lap down again as he's back out on track after that early pit stop he had for the 2nd time tonight as they come out of turn 2. We are on lap 23, so we're already past quarter distance here. As the top 4 remain the same, it's Michael Anthony, Joe Francis, Jared Darling and Zach Bowman. Then you've got Logan Jones in P5, Aaron Tribble P6, Cody Smith now making his way forward. He's just got around Aaron Tribble, who's stuck up on the high side, and it's that man again up there in that Valvoline machine. It's Chris Worrell.
Yeah, Worrell's having another solid run after narrowly escaping that wreck with just a little bit of damage. You can see the left rear corner of the 7 of Cody Smith all caved in. That's from the 9 of Bowerman hitting him. So that's kind of what happens up at the front when there's a wreck up at the front. Everyone has a little bit of something somewhere on the car, no matter where in the field you are.
That's just the nature of Superspeedway racing. If you don't come out with at least a ding on your door, then you're not really racing at Daytona, are you?
You didn't try hard enough.
Yeah, and that's not a Valvoline scheme on Worrell's car. He's got the Valvoline colours, but not the sponsorship on there.
Yeah, it's the...
he's replaced it with balls.
It's the mid-90s. It's the mid to late 90s Valvoline scheme. But it's with the balls out sponsor.
Yeah. Greg McConaughey's just responded. He says, "No power to my wheelbase. Do what you have to do to race." I guess that's what he's saying. But I mean, yeah, you're right. If you're committed to it and you're in it, then why not?
Exactly.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's why did that Atlanta Paskey's race, or at least the first 3 laps, with the controller. And doing it here at Daytona is a little bit easier because you can separate from people and try to stay away and figure out what to do. In Atlanta, it's a lot tighter, and you run a lot bigger risk of being in the way. And that's why I just start and parked after 3 laps. But McConey's doing a fantastic job with just the keyboard and mouse here.
And it's still going, you know.
Steal some points any way you can get them.
Yeah. Anyway, back at the front, Michael Anthony's still leading proceedings. You see Jared Darling on the outside now with Logan Jones right behind him. You got Tribble up there, Josh Robin, as we got one peeling off for pit road. I didn't quite see that one.
James Lowe in the 99 coming to pit lane.
Yeah. Trying to find him. There he is. He's already in his pit stall, so didn't take him too long to get down there as he's pulled it off. We're going to go and find Michael Anthony now, and it looks like... No, I am wrong. Michael Anthony's still leading with Joe Francis now pushing him. Now you see Volta reversed here. It wasn't so long ago that Michael Anthony was pushing James Francis, and now James Francis is pushing Michael Anthony.
And that's the run you can get on that outside lane, and you jump down right in front of the guy on the inside lane. And that's we've seen it so many times. The guys on the inside push out. Guy in second place goes to the outside, gets the push, falls right down in front of the lead. And that's kind of what's happened here, as now Darling is going to go to the lead and do exactly as I just said.
Yeah. And it was that push from Logan Jones that got him up there. So good job. Well, Logan Jones doing his part there. We've seen... I just saw about the Conor Trafari getting a bit sideways coming out of turn 2. Really good driving on the ragged edge there. He's running right behind Roberto Ramirez. And Ramirez, a driver we've not mentioned yet here tonight, currently sitting in P9. He likes to make these long runs as the race progresses. He's back up there again in the top 10. Oh,
yeah,
there goes
and now
Francis.
Pit stops are starting.
Yeah.
Joe Francis in, James Cato in.
Yeah,
88 as well is in. That's Jesse Cottrell.
Yep, as he is there. That is Cato into pit road right now as he's come to get new tyres and fuel. We notice Marcus Adams has stayed in the session. Now that is because, well, if he can get that engine fixed in time, he can go out there and still grab points, and that's a pretty admirable thing to see. Because it just shows how resilient you are as a driver.
Yeah, it's the engine damage, but it's also the cosmetic damage. I believe if you blow an engine, the required repair time is, I believe, a half hour. Then if there's suspension issues, that adds more time to your required repairs, and then it's the optional cosmetic stuff that you can or can't fix, whichever one you decide. So he's sitting there for at least a half hour if he wants to get back on the track, of which he's probably about half of that's gone.
I mean, if these cars still had the new damage model on them, he wouldn't have made it back to pit road. So it might have preserved the engine.
Yep, as the leader's now getting past Jesse Cottrell.
Yep, you see him right there, just falling backwards to lead it. And Cottrell doing ever so well to stick to his line there and making the lead pack go around the outside, but that probably didn't work out for them, as they all had to come into pit road, and Cottrell's going round, and nobody's going to hit him. It's Kessler's going to get him, though.
And Cottrell was in probably the worst spot you could be in, just came down pit lane, but because everybody around him was coming into the box, he was forced to go in again.
Yeah, as we're seeing people coming out of pit road again now. That's Jared Darling going to win the race off pit road, followed by Zach Bowman. It's going to be Conor Trafari, followed by Chris Worrell. As we're looking at David Emig in a big race there with Zayshan Dura and Nicholas Wing out of pit road, and he's going to win that race easily.
Yep, the rest of the guys coming in, that leaves James Cato, unfortunately, by himself. One car in the back there with a little bit of a wiggle, but everyone gets on clean.
That's Ryan Worley that wins. Yeah, it's Worley that wins the race onto pit road, so good to see him there. Sorry to cut you off.
Guys, no, you're fine. The guys coming out of pit road, Darling, Bowerman, those guys are running currently in 7th position right now, and they're coming through 3 and 4. Darling and Bowerman have put out a little bit of a gap, but that field will soon just pack right back up.
Well, Connor Trafari, actually, everybody that's been in pit road so far has only taken fuel. There's a couple of drivers that have taken 2 tyres. Chris Worrell took 2 tyres, same for Josh Robin. David Emick took 4 tyres now. That's an interesting strategy call for him.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where it doesn't really matter what your tire situation is. You can run whatever tires you want and just be as successful. Some drivers feel better with the 4 new tires. Other guys just flat out don't care.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. If we're looking at Ryan Wally, he's just got passed easily by Jared Darling. You see Trafari has called up to the back of these two now. He's looking to the outside. The Reese's number 48, as he's going to get a big run of speed, but he's not going to have the help to push him forward, though.
Yeah, no, that's a situation where you just let off. I understand you have the run, but that's one where you have no help behind you. You know that. You just stick to the bottom line. You just stick with whatever line the 2 in front of you are in. Nothing is going to work.
And nothing's going to stop these guys from catching them. Ryan Worley and Aaron Tribble have started reeling these guys in already. And it won't be long before they're right up there again. You see Jason Papp leading a second pack back there in P10. And he has got, that is Brandon Wilson right behind him. There's Brody Smith with him as well. David Emig is right up there on those 4 tyres. And then you've got Jason Kinzer right there. Kinzer not doing too badly. He started shotgun on the field in P30 tonight.
Yeah, Kinzer was a part of that final group that came into pit. So Kinzer's found his way up a little bit through those pit stops. But just go back for a second to Nick Kessler in the 4. He's now sitting 4 laps down after coming in for a 3rd time under that set of green flag pit stops. You come in on lap 2. You come in about 2 laps into the second run only to pit with the lead cars. That's a very confusing strategy.
It's also not helped with the fact that he ploughed into the side of Jesse Cottrell as well on that 3rd pit stop. So
that as well.
Yeah.
It's you're coming into pit with them anyway. You're just essentially shooting yourself in the foot to do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, as we go back to the lead battle here, still Jared Darling leading proceedings, but look at Worley and look at Tribble. They're right there with him again. As you see, they've broken away a little bit from Chris Worrell. Now that's a worrying sign there, because Worrell, with Josh Robin pushing him, that is that's 2 cars that you got to worry about if they're working together right now.
Yeah, no, those guys are actually catching that front group, and they're going to start going around them here in a moment as Cody Smith and Mark Mann, the 7 and the 04, those guys have been catching as well. So that little group there is getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger as the seconds tick by. That just means that this second group here that's led by Jason Papp has to, 1, figure out which order they're fastest in, and then just stick with that order and get up there. Otherwise, that front group is going to leave them for dust.
Yeah, fair play to Greg McConey with the mouse and keyboard, just staying well out of the way while the lead guys went by. And I will admit, he kept a very straight line while they did go past him, so no complaints from us up here in the booth.
And that's exactly why I started and parked it at Atlanta, because I would have had a heart attack.
Not bad for a 28-year-old. Anyway.
27.
Well, nearly 28.
Yeah, very nearly 28.
I'm nearly 36, so, you know. Yeah, I've got 8 years on you.
Yes, you do. Group's about to catch somebody else up here. It's John LeBombard, and we were just talking about McConey. He is slow. He spun. No, he spun.
Oh, no. Oh, Greg.
He got passed by that lead pack. And that, oh, no, it just looked like... Oh, he just went straight on. It looked as though, like, somebody unplugged his controller or something, and he went straight on in the corner.
That's it. That's the thing. He wasn't using a controller, using a mouse.
Well, no, still, you can unplug the mouse from the back of the computer, or if you're like me using wireless, your battery dies. It's just the same thing.
Yeah, I suppose. Now we have a new contender on the outside there. That is Chris Worrell, and like I said, it's a worrying thing if you see Worrell and Josh Robin working together. Now it's coming into play as they come through the corner right now, come through 3 and 4. And they're pushing their way to the front. They've got Darren Trouble up there, but Trouble's not exactly forcing the issue to try and push his way up there, though.
Yeah, no, Trouble's just hanging out there. He knows that the two guys up in front of him are incredibly quick. And up in this group here, there's, 4 different race winners? There's Bowerman, there's Worrell, there's Trafari, and Cody Smith up in this group as well. So half of this group, a little bit less than half of this group, are guys that have figured it out at least once and put it in victory lane here this season.
Yeah, and Mark Mann, who's the last driver in this group, you see him right there, just ahead of John LeBombard. Now he's a good 4.4 seconds ahead of Brody Smith, Roberto Ramirez, David Emig, Jason Papp, Jason Kinzer, and Brandon Wilson. And then you got another 3.9 seconds back to Calvin Allison, who's leading a third pack there with Joe Francis, Zacian Dura, Logan Jones, Michael Anthony, and Nicholas Wing, I believe, is part of that group as well. So 3 separate packs here working together, but none of those 3 packs are starting to close the gap in either on each other.
If you're looking, the first pack is doing what the first pack is doing. The leaders in this pack, we're going to be racing. We're going to be trying to get a win. The third pack is sitting in a straight line, trying to catch the second pack. And then there's the second pack who, now they're straight. But while you were doing that run through, they were all over the place, getting runs and trying to pass each other. These guys should all be in straight lines, trying to get back up to that lead pack. And this was the first time in the last 4 or 5 laps that second pack has actually been able to reel in that lead pack as Jason Kinzer pops back out and now gets back.
Well, technically, the third pack have got 1 car more than... Actually, they've got about the same amount of cars. I apologise. Because I believe John LeBombard is part of this one. No, he's not. I apologise. John LeBombard's in between the two, the first pack and the second pack. The only reason... Sorry.
That third group has 6. The middle group has 5.
Yeah. Oh, they both have 6.
Oh, no, you're right.
So there's an imposter in there.
Well, 5. There is an imposter in there. I believe... Who's in that pack? It's Brody Smith, it's Emig, it's Kinzer.
Ramirez. It's Ramirez. Is a lap
Ramirez.
down.
Yep, Ramirez is the imposter, the 41.
Yeah.
And Kinzer's still trying to make a move. Just get in line.
Well, Ramirez is going to go with him and give him a push there, but with that that heavy left side damage that Ramirez has got, because I believe he was caught up in some kind of incident there. I didn't see it, but he's definitely been in some kind of war because he's got some pretty heavy left side damage there. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to push Kinzer very well.
If I were in this second pack, if I were Pap, Brody, or Emig, I would be losing my mind right now. Get in line. Let's catch this lead pack. Otherwise, we're just going to fall further off them, and we're not going to get a chance to race for this win unless a caution comes out. And we've seen, especially in this series, you cannot always bank on that caution coming out.
So I got an update from Greg McConey. He says he accidentally clicked and the mouse came unlocked from the wheel, unlocked to the wheel. So
there you go. You may as well have unplugged the mouse.
May as well. You gave it a good go though, Greg, and we applaud you for that one. We applaud you.
ESPN driver of the night, right there for that.
Yeah, there you go. Instant ESPN driver of the night.
You may not have won the race, but you won our hearts, bud.
Well, wouldn't go that far. Anyway, Chris Worrell taking over the lead here, and who'd have thought that one? Well, nobody would have thought that. Well, everybody would have thought that one. He's been so strong this season. They are coming up to lap James Cato right now. Let me do my high power gazintas here, because I'm pretty sure one of the guys in this lead pack is in the running for the money, and it's going to be, well, Chris Worrell.
Yes, it is. Worrell. Again, this is not like last time where it goes to the winner. It goes to the highest finisher this time. And right now, Worrell in that number 6. So somebody is getting a payout here tonight.
Yeah, and the man that's chasing him for that money is Cody Smith, and he's 4 cars back. Because Worrell is back down to 3rd place as Jared Darling somehow was able to hold on to the lead. And now Darling has Josh Robin right behind him as they come around to lap James Cato.
Yeah, now this front pack here has flattened out. Second pack has flattened out. We got a bunch of flat groups here. One trying to get away, the other 2 trying to catch up.
Yeah, let's go back to that second group, which is being led by Brody Smith still. And actually, I apologize. Jason Kinzer did get to the front though, being pushed by Ramirez.
Wilson and the 501 also came up to give them a little bit of a shot. And so now I'd be saying, if I were Brody Smith, I'd be saying, well, you fought so hard to get there. Now drag us up if you think you can. And he is dragging them up as boy Emig has a moment.
Yeah, and you were right about that front end damage on Emig's car. It is pretty noticeable as they're coming through the trouble. I will admit, I love Jason Kinzer's car. It looks so pretty.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting.
And that fluorescent green and the purple and the black and the white, it looks really good.
It does. Purple and green always look good together.
That's not black and white. It's like grayish, blackish white, you know.
Or orange and blue.
Let's not go down that road. We've already did it with the dress about 5 years ago. We're not going to do it again tonight. Anyway.
Don't worry about it. I'm good.
Is it blue and black or is it golden yet? Golden. No, shut up. Anyway. Jared Darling still leading. Josh Robin in 2nd. Chris Warren in 3rd. Zach Bowman in 4th. Connor Trafari in 5th. Ryan Worley in P6. 7th is Cody Smith. 8th, and on the back, actually, it's not going to be, he's not on the back now. Mark Mann is in P8. Aaron Trimble falling to the back of that lead pack. Then you're going back another 4 seconds to Jason Kinzer, who's just ahead of Brody Smith, David Emig, Jason Papp, Brandon Wilson, and like I said, speaking of Brandon Wilson, we are still saying prayers for Cam as we've got cars coming down pit road.
Yep, lead pack is in. Darling leads them down. And this is what I was saying. This is why only 50. You're only allowed to fill the tanks up 50%. So these pit stops are going to be coming really, really quick. And I believe that second group did come in as well. And Ramirez completely made a hash of that pit entry.
Yeah, and Kinzer getting it absolutely perfect there. Same for Jason Papp. Actually, Papp did not get it right at all. He's the last one out of pit road, and unfortunately, he's going to have to play catch-up as he's coming out behind Ramirez, so problems for him right there. And we're going to go back to Ryan Worley, who's going to be the next one to bring it down, as he was right behind Michael Anthony right there.
Yeah, he was, and a good pit entry from all involved, as I believe I just saw 2 cars flash by. I didn't see who they were. Brandon Wilson in pit road in the 501.
Yeah, and it was Ryan Worley as well.
I think you're looking effective race lead right now is the 38 of Josh Robin with Chris Worrell right behind him.
Yeah, and Worrell trying to get that lead back again. And that separation's still there between the first pack and the second pack, except we've lost a few more drivers now. With, I believe, Aaron Trouble has fallen back. Brandon Wilson just coming out there, and he's got Kinzer just past him right there. And you know what? This is really got spread out now.
And this is what I was saying last week about how you see these green flag pit stops and that big group of 20. After the first pit stop, shrinks down to about 12, and then after that, it shrinks down to about 8. We didn't see that last week in the trucks because the trucks are so aero deficient, I guess you could say, so draggy that it kind of kept everybody together. Now we're in the we're in the slippery cup cars, a lot of power. These guys are a lot more comfortable, feel a lot nicer in these cars. You're seeing that same thing kind of happen. That big group, thanks to the green flag pit stops, just getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Logan Jones and Zichendura, they are the biggest losers for the last run of pit stops as McConey hits the wall again, bless him.
We're not laughing at Greg. If you've been listening if you're just tuning in, he's running on a mouse and keyboard right now because he has no power in his steering wheel. So we're rooting on that number 12. He has done a fantastic job up to this point, just keeping it on track right now.
Yeah, just going back to Logan Jones and Zichendura, both of them biggest losers through the last 2 runs of pit stops, as Jones in pit road for over 90 seconds, and Dura into pit road for 1 minute and 40 seconds. So both of them maybe getting damage repaired. Don't know.
Yeah,
May have been a big penalty. I don't know.
That screams damage and penalty. That's what those pit times say.
Jared Darling still leading things at the start here with Josh Robin right behind him. There is Zach Bowman as well. Connor Trafari led for a short period of time before he lost that lead again. Chris Worrell right behind him. Mark Mann right there. Aaron Tribble is back there with James Cato giving him a push, and Ryan Worley having a push from Jason Kinzer. Brody Smith a bit further back, and he's got a pretty decent pack behind him. David Emig's right up there. Brandon Wilson's there. Calvin Allison is up there. He was in that 3rd pack, and now he's up with these guys. So that must have been a mighty pit stop for the 28.
That, and it's also strategy. What you're seeing kind of are guys that are only taking fuel, guys that are only taking 2 tires, guys that are taking 4, and that's also part of what splits these packs up. Is just the different strategies and who's doing what within the group that really moves you guys around the field.
Well, Jason Papp and Nicholas Wing both taking 4 tyres. Same for David Emig. The drivers that have taken 2 tyres in that last pit stop were Brandon Wilson, Brody Smith, Ryan Worley, Aaron Tribble, Cody Smith, and most interestingly, Jared Darling took 2 tyres and has found himself at the front there. Josh Robin, Zach Bourbon, Connor Trafari, Chris Worrell, Mark Mann, Jason Kinzer, Calvin Allison, Michael Anthony, Joe Francis, James Cato's a lap down, Roberto Ramirez, who's also a lap down, not taking tyres. And there are a few drivers in this field that have taken that 3rd pit stop here tonight and have not taken tyres at all yet tonight.
Yeah, it's only about 55 laps on those tires, which especially around Daytona or Talladega is really nothing. Now, you are going to want to change those tires eventually because the car will start to slip a little bit from the rear on corner exit, but other than that, you can run one of these races here in full on one set of tires. It really doesn't. This track at Daytona and Talladega really don't eat up tires.
As we're looking back at the lead pack here, it's still Jared Darling. We now look at Cody Smith on the outside, being pushed by Chris Worrell. Now, both of these guys are in the running for $40 here tonight. Would you expect to be pushed by a person that you're competing with for money?
If it's $40, no.
$40 is $40, dude. I'd take
$40 is $40. You're right, but what was the last Dash for Cash? Wasn't that like 90?
65, I think it was.
Well, still, it's still more. But honestly, I would be more focused on points, and I believe I'm not entirely sure, but I believe isn't there a cash reward for winning the championship? If there is, that's what I would be more concerned about.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, both of them are right up there. Obviously, Burrell is already locked into the playoffs, as is Connor Trafari.
Those are 1 and 2 in points right now on that outside lane, with 11 and the 6.
Yep, as the 6 files in front of Trafari. Now, Trafari won the first race of the season. I think I've mentioned that every week so far since he won that race. Just as a reminder, because he hasn't won a race since, and just to remind people that yes, he has won a race this season. Don't write him off, and we're definitely not writing him off here tonight. He's definitely put himself in a race-winning position, provided that we don't get a caution between now and the end of the race.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't make the trivia question of the week, which race did Connor Trafari win?
No.
We shouldn't do that. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Have I broken you? I'm sorry.
I'll go for what is the first race that Connor Trafari won this season? For 10 points.
Got them all.
Okay. Anyway, Jared Darling. Jared Darling's doing ever so well to keep hold of the lead, by the way. Every time he's lost the lead, he's almost got it back almost immediately. Now, in the past, I've called Jared Darling's races, as well as Josh Robin, with the Sim Racing Authority League, which has just reopened its doors, by the way. I'm very happy to hear that, because such a fantastic league, and good to have them back up and running again, and looking forward to see what those guys can provide with on-track action. But those guys, that's where those guys are from, and it's good to see that they're still racing out there and enjoying league racing, as it seems.
Yeah, they're working very well together. That would lead to the familiarity from racing in that league together. And those two have been able to just keep a stranglehold on this race lead, not really allowing Bowerman to get into a position where he can attack, as just Robin taking a very wide line out.
Big gulp of air for the engine.
Yeah, and that was a hefty little heave of air for that number 38. But yeah, they've been doing a fantastic job. Once they've linked up, there's really nobody else that's been able to touch them.
So
until now.
Yeah, until now, as they come down to the line. We are only 20 laps to go before the end of this one. This is usually the part of the race where things start getting ramped up, and with only 8 drivers, actually 7 drivers in the running for the race win, as things stand right now, well, we could still have a big fight here, but only with 7 drivers.
Yeah, and we do have one more pit stop left, and after that pit stop, you can make it to the end, plus green-white checkers. So this next stop is going to be absolutely huge. It's going to be absolutely critical. Guys towards the back, say a Brody Smith, and guys in that group, Emig, Michael Anthony, guys that are heavy hitters that want to be up front. Expect those guys to take no tires, while guys up front are going to want to, 1, keep that lead, but 2, they have that wiggle room to fall back a little bit and take 4 tires if they need to.
Roberto Ramirez back in pit road again. I think he might have called it a night here. He is.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, there he goes. Not the best race for him. Nick Kessler is still in pit road. He's now 26 laps down. Probably got more damage than he thought he had when he hit the side of Jesse Cottrell, who's also out of this race. Greg McCone is still going around there with the mouse and keyboard. He's now 14 laps down, but that won't worry him. As long as he makes it to the end, that'll be a feat in itself. Jesse Cottrell out of this race. James Lowe out. Scott Warren, Marcus Adams and Rick Seabrand's also out, and that was after the big wreck we saw at the start of this race, and that's literally been the only major incident we've seen here tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about that right at the top of the broadcast. These guys have kept a lot of great, clean racing, plenty of one caution races, 2 caution races. This is another one, and we're still in anticipation of what the heck this finish is going to look like.
Now, as we go back to the second pack here, led by Brody Smith, he's got Zayshan Dura right behind him. Dura is still a lap down. Now, he's going to be praying for a caution. Same for Nicholas Wing and John LeBombard. They're both laps down as well. Unfortunately for Dura's actually 2 laps down. I forgot about that. So it's going to be Wing, Cato, and LeBombard praying for a caution right now as they want to get back on the lead lap. But Dura and Logan Jones, who are both in this pack, by the way, are going to be hoping for more than 1 caution here at this point.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, as you see McConey getting well out of the way there. But these guys doing exactly what they should be doing, which is staying in a straight line, catching that lead pack, and they're catching the 3 cars of Tribble, Worley, and Kinzer that are ahead of them. And if all of these guys, which I would assume some of them, are going to take no tires on this pit stop, they're going to catch up a heck of a lot more to that lead pack to make this quite an interesting finish.
Yeah, and Tribble, Worley, and Kinzer are being joined by James Cato as they come through 1 and 2. Now, this is a 4-car pack. They are not exactly catching the lead pack, but like you said, they are being caught by Brody Smith and co, so they need to be careful in that respect. Joe Francis, though, doesn't need to worry because he is a full 36 seconds ahead of Jason Papp right now.
Well, there you go. I'm pretty sure we're going to start seeing some of the leaders come in as Papp is actually about to get lapped here by the number 14 and that front group. Saw in the driver chat there that somebody only has about a lap and a half worth of fuel left, so I wouldn't be surprised if either this lap or next guys are going to start pitting for that all-important money stop.
Well, 15 laps to go. We should be seeing pit stops very soon here as they come down the backstretch, and it's still going to be Jared Darling. Is he going to be the first one to come down pit road and bring Josh Robin with him? Let's find out as they come through 3 and 4. That combo's number 14 as Josh Robin having a few collection problems there. Out of turn 4, let's see them come down. Will they come down this time by? And they will. Everybody's going to come down to pit road, and Chris Worrell. Oh, Worrell taking a very wide line there, and Worrell's going to have to stay out here. He missed it. He blew the entry to pit road there.
Yep, that was a mistake. Worrell came in too hot, and that's what kept him there. But that third group really caught up to that trio on pit entry there, the group led by Brody Smith. So that's going to be big for those drivers in their route back up to the front.
Absolutely, as we've got wholesale pit stops right now. Mark Mann is out on track on his own.
He blew his box.
Oh, no.
A lot of fuel onlys here. That's exactly, and that's going to bunch this field right back up. A lot of fuel onlys.
And what's happened to Jared Darling here? He's fallen all the way back to P8 now. That's not a good pit stop there for the 14. Cody Smith, watch for him. He took 2 tires here. That might work in his favor.
It just might. I think Darling might have taken tires on that stop. Darling might have taken 2 in that 14.
No, he didn't. He just took fuel.
Oh, wow. Okay, so then he must have had an issue getting into the box.
Yeah.
Only other explanation.
Kinzer up to P9 now. Brody Smith cracks the top 10 for the first time in a long time here tonight. Calvin Allison in P11. Brandon Wilson, P12. 13th for Ryan Worley. 14th for Michael Anthony. 15th for Joe Francis. David Emig, as you already mentioned, having problems getting into his pit box. He's down in P16 now. Jason Papp, only just coming out of pit road here. Actually, yeah, and he's a long way back, and he's just been lapped by the lead pack now.
Yeah, and Worrell coming out of the box, coming out of the pits as well. So right now you're looking at 2 drivers. You're looking at Robin and Trafari. That's your race lead right now. Then behind them is Mark Mann and the 2 Red Bulls of Bowerman and Smith. Those are the 2 after that, and then behind them is that pair of Tribble and Darling, and then Jason Kinzer is left with a little bit of a gap, and then there's a huge gap back to Brody Smith in 22. They're going to need a caution in order to get back.
He's got a huge bunch of cars behind it. Well, not a huge bunch of cars, but he's got enough to pushing forward anyway, and he probably will swallow up Kinzer and Worrell very soon.
And that's huge for that group because they together are bigger than any other group of cars on the track right now. So before that lead pack catches back up with each other, they could make up some serious ground.
Yeah, Kinzer and Worrell, though, they are losing a ton of time to Jared Darling, who's in P7, who's running right behind Aaron Tribble. As we look through the lead pack here, it's going to be Trafari challenging on the outside, but he's got no help. Mark Mann up in third place now. He was caught up in that first, that one and only caution we've had tonight, and he's somehow found his way back up to third place. So good recovery for him. Obviously, he didn't get up there as fast as Josh Robin did, and obviously Robin was involved in that caution. So good to see the drivers that were kind of caught up in it making their way back up towards the front again.
And just really quick, going back to that that second group there, the 91 and the 6 are the only two in that group that are for position. The other ones, the 1, the 3, and the 90, are all at least one or multiple laps down.
They're all for position as well?
Actually, yep, they're all one lap down. So those guys are fighting for position with each other. But the 91 and the 6 are all fighting. Those guys are fighting for position with the group ahead of them.
Yeah, and Pap, Cato, and Wing are actually fighting out for the lucky dog as well. If there is should there be a caution, but with 10 laps to go, they are running out of time. And with things being as spread, this is the most spread out I've seen these guys with this less, with such less time to go.
Yeah, just crossing the line now with 9 laps to go. And you're right, this is usually the time where somebody in the backpacks tend to think, well, all right, I'm not going to get to the lead, so I may as well try to make something out of this and try to get a little too greedy and end up making a mistake. So a caution is still very possible.
Yeah, as they come down the backstretch again with 9 laps to go, as you've already mentioned, it's still Josh Robin leading this one. You see Jared Darling has caught up to this lead pack again and will be looking to make his way forward. You see the 2 Red Bull cars on the outside. That is Bowman and Cody Smith. Then you got Connor Trafari right there. Aaron Tribble is there, as they've just put another lap, I believe, on John LeBombard again. So
LeBombard falling back again, yes.
And McConey's still going, by the way.
Yeah, he is. Just also look back. That 91 and the 6 have linked up, and they have driven away from the 3, the 90, and the 1. And they are working their way back up towards the front. And LeBombard being just off of that lead pack in the 95 is really going to help them, because that gives them somebody to suck up to a little bit sooner than getting to the actual lead pack.
Yeah, so that's going to help them. Unfortunately for Jason Papp, James Cato has managed to streak away from the 1 as well. Actually, Papp has completely fallen off. Where's Papp gone?
I'm not sure. I will take a quick look and see. He's fallen all the way back behind the 3rd pack.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he was 3 seconds off the pace that lap around, so something must have happened.
He caught the apron in the tri-oval a couple laps ago and had a big moment, and then lost that pair. Well, lost that group that he was in, and now he's fallen all the way back.
Yeah, we're going to go back to that 3rd pack there, being led by, I believe that's Brody Smith. Not exactly making inroads on the leaders right now as they begin lap 75. Brody Smith is six seconds off the leader, which is Jared Darling now, I might add. They're in line, they're drafting with each other, but they're not making any gains at the moment.
Yeah, because right now it's size, it's speed and numbers, and that's what that front pack now has. Is they've got a bigger pack than the group that's chasing them. And granted, that group, that second group now has made up a good 2 seconds from the time they came out of pit lane to this moment. But right now, it's that strength in numbers and that front group has it. And now the 91 and the 6 have officially gotten to that front group. It's a 9-car race for the win now.
Yeah, you see them right there making their way through 1 and 2. They are just absolutely lockstep right now. They are working together to make their way up there. Now they have they've found their way up there thanks to using John LeBombard as a pick. They are up there with the lead pack. So this pack has grown from 7 drivers to 9 now, as we are 4.5 laps to go.
Oh my goodness, 4.5. Wasn't it just about 20 seconds ago we were saying it was 9 laps ago?
Yeah, I know, right?
Now that the Coney is just going to peel off, let the group go. It's about all you can do.
Now, there's a good reason why they're saying go 04 in the chat, because look at the 04 now making a big push for the lead here, and with 4 laps to go, this is the time to do it here, Frank.
Yeah, and he's got those 2 Red Bulls right behind him, and that's a very, very quick pair when they are together. So Mark Mann in a very, very good spot right now. Wouldn't be surprised once he gets clear, he's going to dump in front of that 14. Just was not able to clear Darling just yet.
Yeah, Josh Robin using that push again to keep Jared Darling out in front. But here we go down through the tri-oval. This might be where Mark Mann gets his advantage again as they go through across the line. 3 laps to go now. And again, it's getting exciting again as we are all bunched up, and look at Kinzer making a lane for himself, and he hits the wall.
Yep, Kinzer's been doing that all race long, trying to get up, trying to make a move, get up and lead a pack, and he's still trying to do it. This time it's for the race win. 2.5 laps to go. He's at the back of this pack, and unfortunately there's about a stalemate now as the inside and outside both have an equal number of cars.
Yeah, they do, and it's got Chafari, Kinzer's up there still. Chris Morrell is on that inside line, and Cody Smith needs to be careful here, because Chris Morrell is right there, and he could steal that $40 right from under his nose right there if he's not careful.
You know, we've seen these races enough to know that the order they're in right now isn't necessarily the order they're going to be finishing in, as Kinzer tries to take it 3 wide again on Connor Trafari on the outside lane, just with no help though. Not able to make it work. Only a lap and a half to go.
Cato's just made his way up there, so that might help him out a little bit. But not enough, as now Mark Mann has a nose out in front as they come round through 3 and 4. And now it's going to be a straight shootout between Jared Darling and Mark Mann, and whoever is going to try and make that last push as we come down towards the line, and it is going to be the white flag this time by Frank. Bring us to the flag.
As they head into turn 1, you see just a little bit of a peek from Robin in that 8 car on the inside lane. A little bit of a wiggle coming out of both lines. That outside line is going to need to give Mann one heck of a push if he wants to win this race. About a half a lap to go. Jared Darling in the lead on the inside lane. He's been dominant the entire second half of this race. Kinzer gets a nice run on the outside line. He's got Cato right behind him, but coming off of turn 4, it's going to be a photo finish. There goes Bowerman to the outside. It's going to be 3 wide for the win. Coming to the line. Wow.
And who stole that one? It was Jared Darling that stole it at the last second. 1/1000th of a second separating the top 2. 11 1,000ths of a second separating all 3 cars.
That's one hell of a finish. That's all you can say. That's one hell of a finish.
Yeah, that was, as we got Jared Darling already parked up on the apron, and I think he's just going to stop for a second and just collect his thoughts here as...
Just breathe, son, breathe.
Yeah, Mark Mann, so close to getting his first race win of the season.
And Bowerman, the only reason why Bowerman makes that move is because he has the friendly car of Cody Smith behind him. Other than that, I think Bowerman pushes Mann to that win, but boy, oh boy, oh boy. What a finish once again. Even with 9 cars, they made it a hell of a finish.
Yeah, and no wrecks this time, so good to see everybody just keeping it clean this week, but still some exciting racing as You just keep talking there for a second, Frank, because I'm going to try and find some drivers here.
Yep. So we'll while we're waiting here for these interviews, I guess Sam, if you're not too busy, I guess we could throw up the race results here on the screen, if you don't mind. As finishing order here tonight is going to be Jared Darling, Mark Mann, Zach Bowerman, the top three. We'll hear from those guys in a second. Josh Robin finishing fourth. Cody Smith rounding out the top five. Connor Trafari, Aaron Tribble, Jason Kinzer, Chris Worrell, and Brody Smith rounding out the top 10. I believe, hold on one second, if I look up my magical list of names here, that would be Cody Smith winning the Dash for Cash tonight with that fifth place finish. So an extra $40 to Cody Smith for that one. Ryan Worley, Brandon Wilson, Michael Anthony, Calvin Allison, and Joe Francis, the top 15. David Emig rounding out the cars, finishing on the lead lap. Three cars finishing one lap down. That'll be Cato, Wing, and Pap, finishing 17th, 18th, and 19th. Three cars finishing 2 laps down. John LeBombard, Zashawn Dwera, and Logan Jones, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Greg McConey, the last car running, finishing 17 laps down, finishing in 23rd. Roberto Ramirez, Nick Kessler, Jesse Cottrell, James Lowe, Scott Warren, Marcus Adams, and Rick Seabrands, all DNFing here tonight from 24th to 30th on the grid.
And with that being said, we are ready to bring in the guys for the interview, as we're going to bring in our race winner right now, Jared Darling. And Frank, I believe you have him right there now.
I do. Jared Darling, what a finish and what a push you got all night long from Josh Robin.
Yeah, I can't believe we got that one. I thought coming to the line there, I think it was Mark on my outside. He had it the whole time. And I was like, man, we're just going to come up just short. And I just got this little surge at the end there from Josh. Yeah, like you said, I got to thank him. We worked together all night. We're good friends, and yeah, I couldn't have done it without him for sure. So definitely a big thanks to him. And what a crazy finish. I mean, I think it said 1/1000th of a second. That's obviously as close as it gets. So that was a pretty fun race. A lot of fun tonight.
Now, Sam had said that you and Josh had run in a league prior to this, so you do have that familiarity with each other. How comforting is it to know that you're running first and second with a guy that you know very well behind you in a situation like this?
Yeah, that's the most important part. You're right. I mean, you got to have this kind of race, and you got to have friends. You got to have people to work with, and I mean, it was just us two. I don't know really many people over here, and I appreciate everybody coming here and letting me race. And yeah, it was just us two against everybody. So I knew it was gonna be really tough tonight, and we still got it done. So that was awesome. But yeah, having somebody to work with you and know how we're gonna run the lines and push and stuff, it's very comforting for sure.
Now, after that exciting finish, let's go back to, I believe it was lap 8. That incident that wrecked a lot of the guys that you would have probably been fighting at the end of the race. What was your point of view on that wreck that took out guys like Adams and Warren so early?
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. I think I believe I was pushing Josh there, and I think he was just trying to get to the bottom, and he even said he messed up, he misjudged, he turned too early, and unfortunately took a lot of guys out there. That's what I saw. I think he was just trying to make a move, maybe a little too early there, being a little aggressive, and unfortunately took some guys out.
All right, we go. You hadn't been here for a couple weeks, so you're going to be here for Talladega next week?
We'll see. It's that's the only thing about this league is I can't really do full time. It's just kind of like, I race here and there, and like I said, I really appreciate everybody still letting me do that, because some places, if you're not full time, which I get it, if you're not full time, why let them race? But I still appreciate them letting me race. But not sure if I'll be here next Friday, but if I will, it'll be a fun race. Like always, I have a lot of fun over here.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate?
Yeah, absolutely. Just you guys put on the broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch this one for sure. And thank all the sponsors in here: Circle B Diecast, iRacing, Flag Butt Kicker, Midwest Motor Customs, all them guys, Jason and Mark for putting on the league, and big shout out to Josh for all the help tonight. Big shout out. Couldn't have done it without him. And everybody watching and on the broadcast, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
All right, we hope so too. Jared Darling punches his ticket into the playoffs with a win tonight. 11th different winner in 13 races. Jared, congratulations.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good night.
That was Jared Darling joining us in the booth. Now we're going to have the second place finisher, Mr. Mark Mann, joining us right now, and he's with me here in the 04. Mark Mann, Sam in the booth, you got a copy?
Sam, what's up?
0.01 seconds. That was the margin between you and Jared Darling at the line. Still going to be happy with second place regardless?
Sure, absolutely. I was happy to just finish tonight. Haven't been able to finish one of these in a while.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing these broadcasts for a while now, and we've seen you have so much bad luck over the past few races, but to get that chip off your shoulder here tonight, it's got to be pretty satisfying.
Absolutely, yeah. I got one win this season, and that was in the ARCA cars, and I don't think you guys were able to broadcast that one.
No, because my power got knocked out.
Yep, I remember that. So the only one I'm able to win are the ones that you guys aren't broadcasting, but I enjoy your broadcast, so I can't wait to watch this one back. ESPN's a great network.
Yeah, and we appreciate the kind words, but it was definitely a fun race, but only the one caution here tonight. Very clean this time around. Were you surprised by the lack of wrecks in this one?
Well, they lowered the fuel load, so I was hopeful that we could, the field would be spread out a lot more than it has been. So with a lighter fuel load, more pits, it kind of separates the field. I was happy about that. So, yeah, I wasn't too surprised, no, but, I think we're getting back on track again where we're having better runs here as a league.
Yeah, and definitely going to be getting more excited now as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. It's really ramping up now.
Right.
And next week we head to Talladega in the Cup Cars. What are your thoughts heading to that one?
I love Talladega, so it's going to be a lot of 3 wide the entire race. Here it was just a little bit of 3 wide. Talladega is going to be all 3 wide, all race. I do enjoy that kind of racing. My strategy tonight was I started third and do a couple laps and drop to the back, and that's what I did. And yeah, it was great.
Absolutely. So congratulations for bringing the 04 to the podium for the first time in a long time. Before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to, say thanks to?
Sure. I'd like to thank my friend and fan, Mayor Clark, and all the people watching at home, and definitely the sponsors, Circle B Diecast, iRacing, iFlag, Kicker, AC Paints, Midwest Motorsport Customs, and ESPN and iRacing East, and all the teammates that I ran with, Rick and Jason, tonight.
All right. Well, Mark, congratulations on finally getting that chip off your shoulder. Well deserved, and we'll see you next week when we head to Talladega.
Roger that, buddy. We'll see you.
So that was our second place driver. Now we're going to go to the man that was also very close here tonight. That's going to be Zach Bowman. And Frank, you got him with you right there. Frank?
Sorry about that. Zach Bowman finishing in the 3rd position here tonight. Zach, you got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that's a win. I mean, finishing these things is a win. So, in 3rd, it's like it's pretty close, and the way to do it, I mean, that was great. I had a blast.
Now, I had mentioned it in the booth. Just wanted to get your opinion on it. Why did you make that move to the outside? I was assuming it's because you had Cody Smith behind you.
Yeah, I was content with pushing Mark to the win, and when I saw I was gonna do it, and then I saw kind of the 2 on the bottom get loose. So I was like, all right, this might be our shot here. Like, if you're clear off 4, let's go for it. I mean, the worst that can happen is, like, we 3rd and 6th, and I think that's what it was. So, yeah, Mark's cool. Mark would do the same thing to me. I think almost everyone would do the same thing there. But yeah, honestly, I'm glad we all finished. That would have sucked if we all wrecked coming to the checker. So, yeah, I think that's just a testament to the skill level of these guys. So I'm glad we could trust one another like that.
Earlier on in the race, there was that big accident up front. You and Cody got into it a little bit, just a slight little tap. What were you able to see of that big wreck from the beginning of the race?
I kind of saw it coming for 2 laps, so I just was on my toes, and then it happened at a pretty tough spot for me because it was kind of going into turn one, and when I hit the brakes, I had two left wheels on the apron, so I couldn't. I hit the brakes, but I just couldn't slow it down without getting sideways, and I just gave him a little love tap, just letting him know that, hey, if you die, I'll die with you. So it was a buddy system.
The
Uh,
blood oath.
we got very, very fortunate there because we only had about like 10 second of repair and our motors were fine. So I don't think either of us got everything fixed at the end of the race. We still had like 2 seconds left to the end. It wasn't totally killing us.
How did the 50% fuel limit change the strategy up here tonight?
I did not change right side tires once under green the whole night. So that's really the only difference for me. And because if we go green, it takes a little longer to get rights on. And since I had that little bit of damage, I didn't want to risk losing, like being as like fast off pit road as possible because I could end up losing the lead pack. I like it. I think it puts a testament on the people who practice getting on and off pit road. It makes you communicate more frequently with your competitors, and then that just builds trust within all of us. So the more I think about it, the more we run that 50% fuel will be better races because we'll get more comfortable around one another.
All right, we're staying in these cup cars next week, the night before Halloween at Talladega. What are your thoughts going into Dega?
I don't know how we're gonna beat what we ended up putting on tonight, but I think we definitely can next week, especially if we have the same kind of level of performance we put in. Because it's a lot wider, a lot more room to move around, and yeah, it's great. I harp on everyone early, like we need to just stop racing like it's the white flag on lap, I don't know, 6, 7, and it clearly works every time. But I mean, that finish was great. It'd be nice if we could double the cars there at the end. In Talladega, we'd normally have more cars there at the end, given the how much we can maneuver around. And if we get in trouble, we can save it easier.
All right, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
For sure, all the sponsors, a lot of them have been here since we started this about 2.5 years ago now. So we got the Circle B diecast. It's the old Plan B sales. They hopped on about a year and a half ago, and very fortunate for them. The iFlag, they've been here since day one, and then Buck Kicker, Midwest Motor Customs, and AC Paints. Whenever I'm in here, it seems to be a rarity now. I always say like, if we keep entertaining them, they'll keep supporting us, and then we'll put on some better competition. And this league has really, really outdone itself since day one. So yeah, I love how they support us, and then we try to return the favor. It's hard to beat the entertainment we put on tonight.
All right, there's your third place finisher, Zach Bowerman. Congratulations, bud.
Yeah, thanks. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
So that was third place man, Mr. Zach Bowman, having an interview with us here tonight. What a race again! We've seen a different dynamic to this one here tonight. We've seen close racing, but this week they managed to keep it clean.
Yeah, this was the strategy race. We've had a couple of the big wreck races. We've had some close finish races. We've had some last second wreck races. This one was the strategy race, and there is one more of these races coming up. And if I can click on the right stupid link here, it's going to be again here at Daytona. It's the middle race. It's the fifth race of the playoffs here at Daytona in the Xfinity cars. That's going to be the second and final 50% fuel race of the season. So another strategy race that I think I'm looking forward to that a lot more now than I was earlier tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to be a fun race to watch, and the rest of the races of this season will be fun to watch, so make sure you stay locked on Friday nights here on ESPN as we bring this season to the close and we get ever closer to crowning a brand new champion here this season. Before we go, we're going to give another rundown of the championship here, the results here tonight, sorry, as we get ready to get out of here for another night. And coming home with the victory, as we've already mentioned, Jared Darling taking the race win from Mark Mann by 0.001 seconds. 1/1000th of a second between Jared Darling and Mark Mann. Zach Bowman crossing the line, and only 12 1/1000ths of a second separating the top three. That's the closest finish we've seen all season. Josh Robin coming home in P4, and Cody Smith collecting the Dash for Cash here tonight. $40 going his way. He rounds out the top five. Connor Trafari in P6. 7th going to Aaron Tribble. 8th to Jason Kinzer. 9th to Chris Worrell. And Brody Smith rounding out your top 10. In P11 was Ryan Worley. P12 was Brandon Wilson. 13th going to Michael Anthony. Calvin Allison in P14. And Joe Francis rounds out your top 15 here, Frank.
Yep, that would be David Ebig rounding out the cars, finishing on the lead lap. James Cato, Nicholas Wing, Jason Papp finishing 1 lap down. John LeBombard, Deshaun Duera, Logan Jones finishing 2 laps down. Greg McConey, the last finisher, finishing 17 laps down in 23rd. Roberto Ramirez, Nick Kessler, Jesse Cottrell, James Lowe, Scott Warren, Marcus Adams, and Rick Seabrams. All not finishing this race, finishing from 24th to 30th.
So another race in the book there as we look at Nick Hasler's burning engine on pit road there. I apologise, Nick, I didn't mean to bring that up there, but another race in the books here, and we only have a couple of races left to go before the big races start beginning and the playoffs are underway. Don't forget, we have more broadcasting on the way here on ESPN. The next broadcast you'll see from us will be on Sunday with the MPI Cup Series as they head to the shorter tracks this week to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But until then, definitely fantastic racing. We've got more action on the way and definitely looking forward to it. But for now, from myself, Sam Cooper Bennett, and from my broadcast partner, Mr. Frank Marchese, all that's left for me to say is keep it clean, keep it green. More prayers for Cam here tonight as we say good night, and we'll see you Sunday.